If you had this bike in the 90s, you would have had a top drawer bike. However, technology has moved on an awful lot since then, and I've just picked this up for £70. A lot of the components don't actually work on this thing though. The shifters, they're not actually shifting. The wheels, they feel very, very flimsy. And overall, it's just an old looking bike. And every single day, bikes just like this get left and left and left. And what we're gonna do is see if we can actually save this bike, inject it with some 2025 technology, and give it a new home. So looking forward to this build. Let's see what we can do with it. One of my favourite things about rebuilding old bikes is researching what parts we need to go for and making some purchases. So right here is everything we need to build the new GT. However, we do not have any wheels. We have a few options. We can buy some brand new ones online, but the issue that I'm finding is that everything is fairly fine, but not what I want for the bike. It's somewhat unbranded stuff and fairly cheap, if you like, but I don't want that. I want a bit more of a premium feel to this thing. Option 2 is that we buy some second-hand ones, but the story is very similar there as well. It's just not quite hitting the mark. I'm not finding anything that's relevant for this bike. But the third option, which I'm kind of leaning towards, is rebuilding our own wheels. That means that we get way more options of rim choices and the available hubs that are out there, and we can really mix and match our own custom wheels here. So I think I'm going to go for that option and see how we get on. So the rim I'm going for is the Halo T2. It's really strong, it's light, it looks cool, and I can use it with a V-brake. Hub-wise, I've gone for the Shimano Qs, and although we're not using disc brakes, the new owner has the option to put a disc brake on these wheel sets. Now, I need to work out the length of the spoke, and I've got this vernier gauge to actually work out all the information I need, and then what I'll do is enter it onto a website for it to then calculate all the information I need to then order my spokes. And here we are. Spokes have arrived, cup of tea's made, let's get started. Now the wheels are built, it's time to strip this bike. First step, pedals and crankset. So let's get this off. So we're inside now. I've just got the bike in the stand and given it a clean, and now assessing this headset. It's very rough, just not very good at all. So we've got two options. I either replace the bearings, clean this up and give it a grease up, or I can buy a new one. And what I've done is I bought a new one and gone for a sealed unit. They're only 30 quid, I think. And it just means that there's less maintenance, and actually it's a smoother ride because you've got a contained bearing rather than them being all loose balls, and longer lasting, I think. So let's get that in. So this is the original chain set that came on the bike. It actually has 3 rings on the front. I don't think we need 3. We only need 1. So we're going to go for 10 gears on the back and 1 on the front. Now, the other thing with this chain set is that it has an internal standard square taper bottom bracket. That means that it actually sits inside the frame with the bearings. Now what we're going to go for is what's known as a Holotech bottom bracket and chain set. And the idea behind this is that the bearings actually sit on the outside of the frame rather than inside, and it means that the bearings arguably are stronger because it spreads the distance of the load. It means that the bike can be stiffer when you're actually pedaling, and it can be a lot lighter as well on the actual bike. I don't know what the difference is going to be in weight, but I've got some scales, so let's find out. So that's almost 500 grams difference, which I was surprised at actually. But let's get everything installed. These cranks have almost like a little hole inside the crank arm with a splined axle. So all you do is slide the arm onto it, and there's a little hook that you can't quite see that then hooks onto the actual axle itself, and you just screw this fancy bolt in and away you go. So we're going for the United BMX stem and the Fairdale bars, but in order for this to work, we need to use this stem converter, which takes it from a threaded stem to this style. It won't work otherwise, so you need to be really mindful of this if you were to rebuild your own. So that's the gear cable sized and threaded through on the bike. Next up is the brakes. Now this had cantilevers on it originally, and we're going for V-brakes because they're way sharper. Now the issue is the bike's designed for canties, and this brake lug thing is not allowing for the cable to go all the way through, and we need it to. Otherwise you have to rely on zip ties, which doesn't look great. So I'm being really careful, and we're going to needle file this lug so we can actually push the cable all the way through.
And on a side note, I just had these bars delivered from Medium, all the way from Paris, I think, or France at least anyway. So let's take a look at these beasts. I saw Craig, sorry I forget his second name, Craig, Second Life Bikes Craig, used some of these bars on his GT that he's built recently, and they look so good. Yes! Look at these. They won't fit on my stem because it's 31.8. But these look cool, don't they? Yes. We'll get these on another build soon.
So just finishing off the brakes now, getting all the cables in and setting up the gears without realising that the limit screw was actually pushed all the way out. And yeah, I made a mistake. So always check your limit screw, and that's the gear set up. This seat was expensive, but perfect for this bike. Looks amazing. And as for the grips, well, I picked those up from Volt BMX in London. John, he's been riding for decades and he's still doing it now and absolutely shredding. So if you need any BMX stuff, check those guys out.
So, bike is complete. It's now time to take it out for a ride and see how it feels and get some shots of it. Now, I've made some adjustments. I adjusted the bottom bracket for a silver one, which I think it just makes it look better. And the pedals, rather than going for all silver, I've gone for all black. Again, using the DMR ones. Now, you can probably spot behind me some bikes just lingering, waving, saying hello. Well, they're all the other projects we've got underway. They're in the raw form, so they are literally shells of themselves. But in the coming weeks, we're going to make these really, really cool. So again, just to give you a flavour of what's to come, we've got a really cool giant Euro 2 and this lovely claw butler. It's a Reynolds one as well, which is always very British and nice. And then finally this cool Diamondback with this amazing paintwork. So let's go ride the GT. So there we are, bike number 3 complete, and I think this one's turned out really, really well. The all black wheels with the purple frame and the silver stem and seat post, I think looks really, really well. And honestly, this bike rides unreal. Like, those wheels are so much better than what you can get typically. So I'm really, really pleased that I spent a bit more time actually building something all from scratch. We've got a little doggy here. Hello, mate. But there are 2 things we're going to change. First thing is the brake noodle. The bendy ones that I like to use, they didn't arrive in time. So the new owner will have those fitted to it. And the tyres are slightly too big, I find, with this particular build. It's not sitting quite with enough space in the chainstay. So we're going to go from 2.3s to 2.15s, so it's slightly narrower, but it's still going to give it the cool look that we've got right now. So anyway, thanks for watching, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.